What is up? It is Big Chart Trades back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to be recapping my trade today. So if you looked at my Twitter, you'd see that I caught 92 points with NQ. My trade was a little over $7,000. It was like $7,400. So in this video, I'm going to break down my trade. If you need to see my executions or you don't believe me, just go on my Twitter. I post everything on there. I'm completely transparent. So I'm not hiding anything. So first of all, I'm going to start with my bias and why I was bullish. So if you traded today, you knew that we had a super red CPI candle because we got inflation news that, rose by 3%, right? So there's some huge CPI news, right? So if you drop down to the hourly, you could see that news right here. Okay, this was the news, the 8:30 p.m., the 8:30 a.m. news, this huge red candle right here. But on the 4 hour, I was bullish. Why was I bullish? Because we respected this fair value gap. We've been respecting this fair value gap. We respected it with the 6 a.m. candle, and I thought that, we respected again with the 4 p.m. candle. And also the daily chart is just pretty bullish. We have higher highs, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. And there was no reason to be bearish until we sweep these relative equal highs. That is my draw for the next few weeks. Until we sweep those, I'm bullish. So that's why I was bullish going into today. Well, let me break down everything. Okay, so let me just drop down to the 15-minute and let me skip right over to the 10 a.m. candle. Okay, so coming into today, this is how the chart looked. Now it's very easy to be bearish, but since my higher time frame bias was bullish, I was bullish. Okay, so I didn't really care about this bearish fair value gap right here. So immediately, right when the 10 a.m. candle opened, I knew that we had this 15-minute gap right here. So I marked that out. Let me just go. And then obviously, really important part, if we have a 15-minute PD rate, you have to align your time frames. So 15-minute PD rate is a 1-minute execution. 1 hour PD rate is a 5-minute execution. So since this fair value gap is on the 15-minute, I drop down to the 1-minute for my execution. Obviously the 10 a.m. candle has not opened up yet, right? This is still the 6 a.m. candle. Okay, so what happens? 10 a.m. candle opens, immediately we start displacing to the downside, just lower into this gap, right? And as of here, right, we had this change in state. I actually took this, but obviously if you traded today, if you trade this strat, you know that I actually got stopped out. My stop was at this low. As you can see, we went ahead and traded lower, took out my stop, but I wanted to try out this trade again because I thought this just was an A+ setup, so I was willing to give it another try. As of here, we swept sell side liquidity right here. We made a very slight like SMT with ES that was right over here. Well, maybe we haven't put it in yet. Let me just see what happens. For now, this is the change in state level. Let me just mark that out for you so you know. Let's see where we put in that SMT. I think we put it in. Yeah, so let me just cut this. This was the candle that closed over that series of down close candles. So that was actually my entry. So wait, but I want to show you the SMT. So we swept sell side liquidity, right? We swept these lows right here. Obviously change in state of delivery is a candle closure above the series of down close candles that swept the lows. These 3 candles right here were the series of down close candles that swept the lows. So closure above that level, which happened right here at this level, right here. Since we got that closure, I went ahead and longed there. My first TP was right here. That was my first TP, but my final TP was actually this CPI high right here because that is where I wanted price to go. Okay, there we go. So here I'll show you. And if you don't, again, like if you don't believe me, just check out my Twitter. I literally post the whole thing on there. But yeah, so this was the trade, right? We had the liquidity sweep, lower time frame execution, obviously 3 things that are necessary, as you know, if you've watched my videos before, right? Liquidity sweep, SMT with ES, and then obviously change in state, which is the entry. You got all of those things right here. That was my entry. This was my first TP, and my stop went here at this protected low, obviously. So let's see, blah, 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 TP1 hit. So I sold majority of my position there, and then I was holding until here. Look what ended up happening. We just did nothing, did nothing, did nothing. We took this low, right? So once we took this low and closed above this high, right? We made this like order block thingy. My stop got moved up here. So this was my stop, right? That was my stop. And then this is still my final TP, but obviously I ended up getting stopped out right here. So I eventually got stopped out of my full position in profit. Nice little trade there. But that was my trade from today. You see how I follow everything that I tell you guys. Literally the same thing every single time. Taking the same exact trade every single day. Now let me just show you the trade. Hold up. So literally, as you saw, right? Like I said, I took this first change in state that happened right here. I took that first change in state. I got stopped out. As you see, this candle right here stopped me out, right? And then that candle right here stopped me out. And then I went ahead and retried on this change in state right here, right? Got that entry, sold the majority of my position here, like I said, and then got stopped in profit at this low right here. So that is literally the exact trade that I took. Let me just X that out for you. But yeah, this was today's trade recap. If you learned anything from this video, go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, whatever you got to do. That makes you happy. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.